What's good? What's good, everybody, man? This is your Detroit Lions DSA RoundTable. We in the building and we back and we back and we back from the crazy Thanksgiving Day massacre and Thanksgiving Day miracle because Matt Patricia was fired. So, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure all you guys come in here like the video, and I'm gonna introduce the panel. Right now, we got my man Jim Bordeaux Lions on the Proud in the building. What's good, man?
Oh man, I am happy to be here. A lot of times I'm asleep by this time because I get up way too early in the morning. But I want to sit in. I miss my pals here at the round table, but I'm doing great.
And my main man from the Die Hard Den podcast, Mr. Kurt Steele. What's
What
good,
up,
man?
though? What up, though? Hey, man, we doing that double dip duty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Die hard den. You know what I'm saying? We doing the Lions on the Proud. We getting it done, man. I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been on the round table, but it's time to go.
All right, man. We got my man Omg Its Lions Talk in the building. What's good, man?
What is up, man? I feel good. I feel like it's a new day. We ain't got no Quinn, no Patricia. I feel free, stress-free. I'm like, okay, let's get it.
Yeah, man, yeah. And we got our special guest today, man. My man Speak Easy Sports, man. What's good, Speak Easy, man?
What up, though? What up, though? I'm happy Patricia and Quinn are gone, but I am super concerned with the future of our franchise, man. I'm ready to get into it.
All right. Look, now let me get these shout outs going, and we're going to start the show. Make sure you guys like the video. We got our man Nick in the building with already with his crazy hot takes, hard work and dedication. We got Jordan in the building, and Drill in the building, Noma's J in the building. What up, though? We got Darren Mann in the building. What's good? Sports Today, the great one, Mike, Detroit Rage, D-Map Zoom in the building. Devin99 in the building. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Let's see. We got Brian Farrell, Troy Thibodeau. But all right, so we know a lot of things have happened, and today we not gonna bury the lead. We just gonna get right to it, y'all, because I know we all done made some videos and we've been talking about it. But now let's talk to the people. And we've had a few days to just mull it over and just think about everything that's been happening, and things are crazy right now. We're going to start with you, Jim. Thoughts on the firing of Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn?
Didn't come soon enough. That's the first thing.
You're right. The season could have been saved.
Yeah, I think they should have done it last year, and that would have opened up a lot of possibilities. But it had to happen. We were embarrassed twice in 1 week, and it just didn't look like the guys were playing for him anymore.
All right, Omg Its Lions Talk, man. What's your thoughts on the firing of Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia?
Man, it was long overdue, man. It was like, man, finally we free. We just don't have none of that. We can start anew. I'm not too excited about the people who's choosing to start anew, but I'm just glad we're starting anew, man.
All right, man. Mr. Kurt Steele, what's your thoughts on the Lions firing Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn?
Ding dong, they finally gone. Man, I was definitely feeling this. I'll tell you a quick story, man. I looked at my phone after the notification went off on ESPN and when Jim posted it in our group. And you know what? I took a nap. I was able to relax. My mind was actually free to just relax because it was just so stressful waiting for them to fire them after that Thanksgiving game. I was like, they gotta fire them now. So once it did, man, I slept like a baby. I slept like 3-4 hours, man. It was a really good nap.
Hey, man, like I said, man, I was too excited. Like I said, he took me back. He had me singing Marvin Gaye. He had me singing Old Tone. He had me singing Ain't No Mind High Enough. He had me singing Old Negro Spirituals from church. I'm like, yeah, this girl like a mom. I'm like, yeah. I'm singing every positive song that I've ever heard in my entire life about things that make you feel good. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was just like, yo, I'm just good, man. Like, you happy like something actually happened in your real life type of happy. You just like, it's a great day. If the day was trash, you found that out. You're like, hey, no, this day ain't too bad, man. I've seen worse, I've been through worse days in my life. Sure. This is a good day now that we had that at the end. But Speak Easy, man. What's your thoughts on the firing of Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn?
It's about goddamn time, man. I was so happy, man.
I like this dude.
Look, man, it could have happened soon enough, man. I was ready after the bye week, man. When he came to the bye week, making excuses about the team he's dealt, when that team had a better record before him, like it was just, I was ready then, man, and I was happy. I was also ready for Nat. I was excited. I was singing those Negro spirituals too, man. I was in the building. I was clapping. My baby looking at me all crazy. I was like, yes.
Hey man, like it bring a whole different side out of a person, man. Like you be the most meanest, evilest person in the world. Man, Patricia get fired, you turn to a whole different person, at least for a day. You be like, man, things is different. You know, I'm about to donate. I'm about to do stuff. Like people do stuff they never did before. You know what, man? I'm about to meet up. I'm about to call AP so we can donate some meals for these people. You know, like let's just go put all the good stuff out there, man. Like, but honestly,
Did y'all hear about the donations? The donations from the Lions fans?
Oh yeah.
That killed me.
Yeah.
Donate to his.
The Lions fans donated to Deshaun Watson's charity because he beat us.
Right.
And sealed Matt Patricia's fate. Yeah,
they crazy, man.
I was like, y'all petty for that one.
Yeah,
but,
the $13 is funny because they donated $13, some of them a piece, because that's how many wins he had in Detroit for Matt Patricia. That is so savage. That's so Detroit though.
Wow.
Shout out to him though. He put the nail in the coffin.
But no, my thoughts on this is simply, of course, it's about time or whatever. But I'm just glad that Sheila showed she was about that life. I don't care. When I ever hear about anybody pulling up to anybody's house for any situation, I know you mean business with whatever that situation is. He was down 0-2. Arizona game was coming up. She pulled up to the man's house, was like, yo, all right, better stop playing. Because you're going to get fired. You lose to Arizona. And then she pulled off. And guess what? We whooped Arizona. We beat them. We gave Kyler Murray the worst game of his career. But guess what? Couldn't do it to Deshaun Watson, bro. So, obviously, I mean, half our team on offense was hurt and defense. But regardless, the way that they lost that game was just unbelievable. But I think this is good that Sheila has stayed committed. I just wish we fired him earlier. Like I wanted him gone after that Bears game. And you remember what I was saying week 2 and week 3? I was saying if you want to salvage the season, if you want to save the season, get rid of him now. If you want to save the season. And they're like, no, we gonna let him play it out and be trash. My thing is I don't want any Lions fans being upset about Matt Patricia being fired. He's literally the worst Lions coach we've had in our history.
Man, and that's
I literally had to say that and let the mic drop.
Marinelli?
Yeah, worse than Rod Marinelli.
Marinelli. Hey, guess how many wins Marinelli got?
I can't even remember.
He has 15 wins.
Dang.
Trish got 13.
Marinelli got.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead. But according to what I remember, Marinelli has 15 wins and he has 13 wins. So that makes him the worst coach.
Right. And Marinelli ain't got no knees either.
Marinelli, no, but and I'm telling you, Marinelli was bad, but Marinelli, I guarantee he would have more than 13 wins with this team. Marinelli was a terrible coach, but he also didn't have. It ain't like he had talent like that, you know. But that comes hand in hand sometimes. But all right, man, we're gonna move on to the next topic. Make sure you guys like the video. We got 36 people in the chat, only 15 likes. So make sure you guys like the video. I ain't broken up about it. Come on, man. Stop joking. Come on, man. Everybody wanted Matt Patricia gone. And So moving around, we got Lions fans sipping Kool-Aid. We got Lions fans ready to tank the season. We got Lions fans ready to destroy the team. Y'all all over the place with all of these crazy, idiotic ideas. Instead of trying to stay focused, take a deep breath, and focus on next week's football game. But speaking of next week and the rest of the season, if Darrell Bevell turns it around, goes 5-0, leads us to the playoffs, I won't even talk about a playoff win yet, because if he get that, then oh my. But if he just does that, does he deserve a shot at head coach? And I'm gonna start with you, Kirk.
He deserves an interview. That's about the most that I give him. Unless he really has to turn the team around. I'm not really a big proponent of him, but if he doesn't turn the team around, there is no really use for him to be the head coach.
Okay, I was corrected. Marinelli won 10-38 in 3 seasons. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that's what I kinda
So,
thought.
okay,
I
man,
didn't
Patricia,
remember exactly.
my
what it
fault
was.
for disrespecting you. You only the second worst Lions coach ever. Congratulations.
He's got
That's
the
me
worst.
clapping for you.
He's got the worst attitude ever of a Lions coach.
Big facts.
Come on, man. Wait, that is crazy, man. Oh my goodness, so pitiful. 13 wins. Oh my goodness. But anyway, Jim, what's your thoughts about Darrell Bevel? If he starts 5-0, does he deserve to be the head coach?
No, he doesn't. The reason is because we got to bring in a new GM, and the new GM has to bring in his guy. And if his guy is Bevel, great, that's fine. But if his guy is not, totally understand. I don't think Bevel has any chance to be our head coach next year. Not any whatsoever.
Well,
no matter what he does.
I mean, well, I won't say no matter what he does, because then you
Yeah,
go into
I really do. I don't think so.
So if we won the Super Bowl, he ain't keeping the job.
Well, man.
Okay, that's why I said, like, you
know all that now.
no matter what he does, you know.
Yeah, but you know
short of
all
a miracle. Of course, we're not doing that. I ain't crazy. But come on, man. Speak easy, man. What's your thoughts on this?
No. I'm like my man said in an interview. I'm saying he'll earn a point for something he really wants. But other than that, no. I'm good on this whole regime. I respect like what he's done. I know he's won a ring and whatnot in Seattle, but I just want my hands off this regime completely, bro. I just want to start over fresh.
Okay. What's good, Marcus Willis? What's good, One Pride 40? What's good, Luke G? Oh my gosh, 5-27 in 2 seasons. Hey man, he didn't get a third year. So Morningwig is the worst. But ain't none of them had Darius Slade. I forgot about him.
Not Morningwig. I forgot about him.
M&M's.
Yeah, he was.
Well, like I'm saying, Patricia had
Awful.
way more talent than all of these guys. He was coming off a consistent 9-17. So there ain't no excuses. He's technically the worst if you go by the amount of talent, because these guys, I'm pretty sure the Lions were garbage before they got there. Like Patricia was taking over a team that 9-7 back to back, 11-5, and then they went to the playoffs. So yeah. But it's good to have context. So Patricia, you I still say you number one. I'm sorry. I can't. But all right, OMG, man, what's your thoughts about Darrell Bevel? If he goes 5-0, leads us to the playoffs, should he be the head coach?
Man, I mean, I have a crazy theory that Bevel was throwing games on purpose. You know, because if you look at his track record, Bevel has been consistent. A consistent play caller. And he just came this season, man. I don't know what the hell he was doing, man. So I think he wanted Patricia out of there too. to be on the real, I don't think he
Your ass got to go.
Yeah, for real. I mean, check Bevel's track record, man. When he called the plays, man, has he ever in his career done this? Hell no, he ain't done this. So I'm like, oh, he want Matty gone. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Bevel is not my first choice a head coach, not even my second or my third. But I mean, if he does decent, I mean, he's worth giving a look to. But he would definitely be somewhere like 4th or 5th, or you know what I'm saying, on the list. So yeah.
Yeah, I brought up this question because we got people like my man Def99 that feels like this. He says, no way you can tell me Bevel gets 4 or 5 wins with a tough upcoming schedule and he shouldn't say the head coach. I mean, yeah, we have a murderer's row schedule. And if he won all 5 games, that would be something special. We would beat the Titans for the first time in our history. I mean, we would do impossible things. Beating the Bucks, it would be a miracle. Literally.
But would it be really though? But would it be really? Because we always beat the really good team. We always beat the good teams and lose to the bad team.
No, it would, because even if our team was where we should be, this would be a murderer's row. Like if our team was where we should be, like 6-4, 7-3, like this would not be pretty. Like regardless, and that's like even if our seed, like if our record was literally flipped over and we 7-4, going into this, we could easily. I'm not saying we would lose all 5, but we could lose all 5 and be 7-9. I'm just saying that's how serious the schedule is, regardless of what our record is. So if he was to go out there and win it, it would be impressive. But Darrell Bevell would have to like win a playoff game for me to be mad about it. And you might be like, what I mean by that, like I'll be okay with him being the head coach, but I would still be pissed the whole season. But I'll be okay with it. Like I'll be mad about him being the coach. I'm like, oh, you coach because you won that playoff game. But if we keep winning, like that's the one thing about this coaching thing with Bevell. I definitely don't think he should get this job. But if we win and happen to win a playoff game and we come in next season and we're still winning, then what will be the issue? And especially when you look at the teams he would have to beat. I'm with you, OMG, because these are teams that the Lions just don't beat. At least 3 of these teams.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the Packers late in the season, like they are, and the Bucks and the Tennessee Titans. So it will be a change, but you just can't overrate a guy over 5 wins. You know, like he would really have to do something special. Like the playoff win wouldn't need to be a playoff win; it would need to be like an upset against like Seattle or something. Like just a huge upset. You know, something that's like that'll make a mark. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I just don't know how a guy could stay. But.
Yeah. I think Henry may break the single game rushing record against us. That's what I fear.
Hey man, I can't even say you wrong because we saw what Dalvin Cook did to us. So yeah. So yeah, we that's gonna be a long game. We already know that's gonna be a long game. But before we move on to the next topic, I did want to talk about where you were talking about Bevell was sabotaging Patricia or whatever, but. You remember, Jim? I think you remember this when I talked about it. It was like maybe a couple months ago, and I was kind of like, I think I made a video or I said it on the RoundTable. I was like, Matthew Stafford don't like Matt Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when I said that?
Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, I can tell. Like it's just like I'm just looking in his eyes, and y'all know, like I'm just like this. This dude don't like this dude, and I was just like, I could just see it, and you can even see it these games going through it. And like you seen Stafford look more mad about losing this year than probably any year. And I know that sounds a little funny, but like I know this might sound a little weird to some people, but I think these losses was pissing off Stafford a little bit more than usual.
It looked like it in that press conference for sure.
Like no, the press conferences, not just one, multiple. He was just looking pissed. Like
no, I meant this last one he just did, man. That last one he just did. He was all out, looking like he was upset, depressed. Upset, you know, like
when we got shut out, like the game against the Saints, like you could tell, like Stafford's like, "Yo, I'm heated," and a lot of people be wanting him to show some of that fire and stuff. But how he, I just feel like Stafford has acted like Matt Patricia hasn't existed while he's been on the team. Like that. That's really how it's been. Whenever you're asked about him or he talks about or talked about the guy, it would just be like, you know, yeah, that's just the coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's just the guy they put there. You know, I'm going to just go out and play football. So it might be something to like Bevell might be the guy in the locker room that everybody loved. And Matt Patricia is the mean coaching principal that nobody really liked.
It could be. We'll find out. I think we'll find out soon. When they play that game, we'll see how they come out and how they play. And if the offense is different, I'm interested in the defense too. To see what happens there because Unlittle probably finally calling his own game.
Yeah,
that's big. That's the big thing right there.
And I will say I do like before we move on to I do like Bevell's approach. If you hear him talking, he's saying he wants it to be about them getting back to having fun playing football again and just sticking to the basics because when you keep it simple, you can just go out there and play. Like. If we believe Matt Patricia has been holding us back as much as we've been claiming, we should beat the Bears. And I'm not saying we're a good football team, but the Bears, come on, like
we got to beat them Care Bears.
Like we should beat them, you know. So we'll see if we win. I'm not saying we're gonna beat them, but we'll see if we win. But if Matt Patricia has been the problem, we should at least be able to beat them on just being a little bit slightly better than trash, you know. But we'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens. And Kenny Galladay and Swift should be back too. So
right. Like Kenny G about to skip down the hallway. He
also does have 10 days off too. But I know they gonna be healthy. So
that Kevin Nash gift, man.
That was hilarious.
Kenny Galladay, that Patricia got fired
out of the wheelchair.
But this is my thing that I wanted to say before we move on. I feel like with this whole regime, as we wrap up this Matt Patricia era and try to move on a little bit, none of our leaders like this man. And if you weren't a Patricia guy, you didn't like him. Stafford doesn't like him. Kenny Galladay doesn't like him. I guarantee you T.J. Hockenson don't like him either. But we don't know. Like, none of our best players like this guy unless they were in the Patriots uniform. And to me, that's a little bit alarming. And he destroyed our team. Seeing Quandre Diggs ball out, seeing even though Darius Slay was getting murdered, seeing Darius Slay on the other side, just seeing like us just give a good football players that we just gave away for no reason, just so he could bring in his guys only for us to be a terrible team. Good riddance, you're garbage. Darrell Bevel will do better than you because it ain't that much up to live up to. But now we're gonna move on to this Care Bears game. Well, the Lions finally beat Mr. Bumsky on Sunday now that Matt Patricia is gone. We're going to start with you, Kurt.
If we get healthy and we actually play a different defensive philosophy, I believe we can beat the Bears. You know, as long as we and they have some kinks in their armor. They have a good defense, but they have some kinks in their armor, especially with the their defensive tackle that eats up the space is out. If he's still hurt, we can definitely run the ball on Chicago. So I think there's a chance. I think we can beat them on Sunday.
Hey, what if Galladay signs a deal this week? Now I've been thinking about that in the back of my head, but because Bob Quinn probably didn't want to sign him. That's probably why he wasn't signed this entire time, and that's probably why he was like, "All right, y'all don't want to sign me. I'm about to tax you." But I think that's exactly what happened. But Jim, what's your thoughts? Will the Lions finally be able to beat Mr. Bumsky just with a new face in the building?
An emphatic yes. As most people know, my wife is a Bears fan, and the Bears are going through just terrible stuff. They hate their coach. They don't like their GM. The coach is calling out their defense when the offense has sucked all year. It's just a mess over there in Chicago, and I think we're going to whoop them, actually.
Wow, so you saying we get Matt Nagy fired? That's what you're telling me? Because
pretty much.
If we woke them, like we blowed them out, he got to be fired. You just lost to the Lions, bro.
They lost 5 games in a row, man.
No, Jim, didn't I predict this? Didn't I literally say?
Yep.
I literally said, you remember the 2016 Vikings? They started off 5-0, then they lost 5 in a row, ended up 8-8. I literally said when the Bears were 5-1, they were going to lose the next 5 games.
When they were 5-1, I told my wife that team's trash.
I told her too. I was like, y'all about to lose the next 5 games. She's in the chat, whatever. I'm like, okay. I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, they did.
It was a bunch of fluke stuff. So, speak easy. Looks like you back, my brother. Do you think the Lions will be able to beat Mr. Bumsky Sunday just because maybe they're healthier and Patricia's just gone?
Yeah, I think it might be a way because I think we all know after hearing former players speak on Patricia that none of them really liked him. So I think it's their time to kind of stick it to him. You know what I'm saying? By coming in and getting that division win.
Good point.
He's kind of failed to do. So I can see him getting it done for sure. I ain't gonna make no guarantees or promises, but
they're gonna whoop them. Let me
I hope they whoop on.
Hey Jim, I'm hoping so because Mr. Trubisky looked like the GOAT against us. So
yeah, I don't know.
Second half, man, he was tearing it up.
They're in shambles right now. They really are.
I really don't expect their offense to be able to get anything going, and I feel like maybe we can score enough points. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't mean that. I mean they're just in disarray. I mean, from the coaches calling out the defense when the offense hasn't done anything all year. They got Trubisky back because he was benched for the entire year. They were going to just let him go, and all this stuff. I mean, the fans are.
I'm not being the pessimist, but the Carolina Panthers, when we lost to them, you could probably call them the worst team in the league at the time. They're on a 5-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
They were terrible. They're just like how the Bears are, and we lost. So
they rallied around that quarterback, though. I think, but there's just so much internal stuff with the Bears. I do believe.
Hey, I'm hoping you're correct, man. I need to stump the Bears, man.
I need it. I need it in my soul.
Listen, the Bears make me sick, man, because I had David Montgomery all year long. I'm like, he's a buster. You know what I'm saying? And the second week after I done let him go, he go have his first 100-yard game in forever. And I'm like, you can, man, yo, sorry ass. Man, because I held on to him for the longest. Like he's the feature back. He has to eventually do something, and he'd just be like 16 rushes for 40 yards and all type of just dumb numbers. And then all of a sudden he went for a buck and some change last game. I'm like, oh, you old dirty mother.
All right, so what's your thoughts about will we finally be able to beat Mr. Bumsky?
Yeah, we should be. It should be the rally cry. Like we should be, motivated. Everybody should be happy, singing "Kumbaya," telling stories around the fire before the game, singing high school like chants, banging on the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I think so.
You were so good.
Like, y'all know me. I'm not picking any games because Matt Patricia has scarred me. But Jim, I said I'm not picking. I'm gonna roll with you, so I'm gonna blame you. That get stumped.
You can blame me. That's all right. They're all messed up, and we are like coming out of the grave, dude. It is almost like we had our grave clothes on, and all of a sudden we coming out the grave.
No, but I do feel like we've seen it with teams before, though. We've seen it with all of the teams this year. Once these bad teams have fired their coaches, those teams got better, even by how
and that's
small
what I
a margin.
said. And Chicago's really messed up right now. That's all I have. That's what I mean. I think our guys have come out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come up, and Chicago.
No, I think
where we were with Patricia.
Yeah, so I don't think I got upset with Darrell Bevel is like, why you start calling trick plays now? Like,
and why are you sending Matthew Stafford out on a freaking wide receiver route when he has his thumb is on?
No, he was drafted first overall. He paying all his money. He supposed to do everything. He supposed to catch passes. He supposed to throw passes. He's supposed to tackle linebackers.
Exactly.
He supposed to be out there running routes. I mean, I need to see him looking like Taysom Hill plus Drew Brees and one quarterback. I mean, he need to be catching the ball. He ain't doing enough. Like, that don't make no sense to me. The man got an injured hand. But you want, man, you about to make me snap, Jim. Let's get back to the show.
Better get back to something else.
Let's get back.
Here you go. He about to rev it.
I'm revving him up, man. I'm revving him up.
It's just like, wow. I mean, it was a great play, though. I mean, it was a great play, but that's what I'm saying. Wow, where is it? I need to see more of that. I expect the offense to look a little bit fresher, and I do expect the team to be energized. When football players know they're in a team in a state where things can be blown up, not players are playing for contracts. You're playing to feed your family. So I think the players will be playing hard. And if Galladay and Swift are there, we will definitely win it. So I'll put it like that. If Swift is just there, I don't know, but it should be a very interesting game. All right, let's move on, man, before Jim get me all revved up and I start spazzing on Darrell Bevel, because Darrell Bevel has been so trash this year that we going in on Matt Patricia. But Darrell Bevel has been garbage. Don't get me started. The man called a keeper again. Don't get me started, man. If I see another keeper from Darrell Bevel, I'm telling you.
Or another RPO with Stafford.
Like, oh my, just stop it. Just stop it. Okay. This is something that we was a little bit talking about, so we'll go through this question a little bit quickly before moving on to the next one. Do you expect the Lions' offense to look different now with Bevel as head coach? Like I said, we were just basically discussing this. So, Kurt, what's your thoughts?
If you look at his presser, they asked him if it was Patricia kind of holding the offense back, and with the different. As far as the game plan, and he said, yeah, we'll see. I think that he's going to open up the playbook. I think so. I think he's going to. If you look at the way he called plays last season compared to how he called plays this season, I think there was kind of a little bit where Matt Patricia may have
locked up, won't let him out. Oh, handcuff Darrell Bevel.
I think he handcuffed him. I think he was like, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is going to be the game plan, and these are the plays you're going to. You're going to script and I don't think that he gave him a fair shot. So I think he's excited to take over the helm and do the things he wants to do. So I think he's going to open the playbook up.
I will say it's very interesting to say if somebody says, was he holding y'all back? If he wasn't, wouldn't you just be like, no?
Uh-oh.
Is that the bus backing up?
Nah, wouldn't you just be like, no? Like, and that's what I'm saying with Daryl Bevel. It's very unusual to me that he just was like,
Somebody's food gone?
That's somebody's smoke detector. That's what it sounds like.
But all right, OMG, man, what's your thoughts,
man? Not really. I think Bevel will take a few more shots than they have. But I just think it's gonna be a run first offense. I said this all off season, and I had a little resistance from those thoughts, but from a few people, man. But I've said it all along. He's trying to make this a run first team and throw off a play action. And so he might do a few more play action and a few more deep routes, deep post routes and stuff like that, man, deep slants. But I think it's gonna be the same offense, man. It's gonna take a few more shots.
Okay, dang, we got the dogs in the background. Everybody just having fun in the background today, man.
Well, I thought that was the Brinks truck backing up for Kenny Galladay is what I thought it was.
Hey, Kenny Galladay. Hey, easy sports, man. What's your thoughts? Do you think the offense will look different now with Bevel as the head coach?
For these next 5 games, yeah, I think it's his opportunity to showcase himself, both the other teams and obviously the Lions too. We're the market for a head coach, and this is his time to shine. So we'll definitely see him. Plus, we got nothing to lose, so I definitely expect some crazy trick plays. I mean, they already had Stafford trying to catch passes on Thanksgiving, so he might do some crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's his time to shine, his time to do whatever the hell he wants and showcase himself for other teams as well as us.
I remember when JBC knew what was his last game and we shut out Green Bay. That game, JBC was just calling stuff I had never even heard of before. I mean, that was a game where Matt Prater threw a touchdown. And I just feel like that's what Daryl Bell was about to do. He about to pull out every trick play he done ever thought of, and he's just like, we just gonna do it. And I think it is gonna open the offense up, and it's gonna be a gift and a curse because I think the offense is gonna look better and exciting, and it's gonna make some Lions fans, win or lose, want to keep Daryl Bevel around at least as OC. But if we get in a new regime, I don't think that's gonna happen. But they might keep Bevel if he's that good. But I don't know if he can be that good in this short amount of time to be able to do that. But I definitely expect the offense to change up a little bit. But I don't know, man. He's in love with my man Adrian Peterson, as Donberg says, run first with senior citizen Peterson. So if he's still going to do that, then I don't know. I just feel like Patricia was telling him to do a lot of things, and we'll start to see some change because I felt like in the beginning of that Thanksgiving game, Bevel was handcuffed, like I said, locked up, won't let him out. And then after they start getting blown out, then Patricia was like, all right, Bevel, you can do whatever you want to do. And then we start doing whatever we wanted to do, and it was working. So I think it will be a difference in that area for sure, man. Let me see. We got to keep Kenny, G, and Swift. No doubt about that, man. Did I get everybody on that question?
No, I didn't go.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
You think the offense is going to be different? I do. I think there was some in the press conference. You could see where he said, "We'll see," and then he gave a little smile, like it almost looked like he was held back a little bit. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll have to see what the offense looks like. But if he calls another RPO with Stafford, I want to kill that dude. I'm serious, man. Stop it.
Yeah, now it will be a shorter show today, so make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. Well, all right, we're going to move on to the next question, the hot button topic among a lot of Lions fans. Who are your early candidates for GM and coach? We're going to start with you, Kurt.
Early candidates for me for coach and for GM, I would say the coach right now, I got two guys. I got Robert Saleh out of San Francisco and Eric Bieniemy out of Kansas City. And for general manager, that's a really tough one because it's a big pool. I like Louis Riddick, of course. And like that dude live, I'm gonna agree. I like Chris. I like Chris Spielman, but with him, neither one have GM experience. But at least Louis Riddick has front office experience. Experience being a prior pro scout and then being a director of player personnel at Philadelphia and Washington.
Okay. Jim, what's your thoughts on this? Who are your early candidates for GM and head coach for the
Well,
Detroit Lions?
you got to go GM first, and Ed Dodds is my guy. He is a assistant GM now in Indy, but he was with the Seahawks organization for quite a few years. Was really instrumental in building the Legion of Boom over there. He has some very, very good scouting, good draft picks. I mean, he's been involved in that realm for a long, long time. I really like him, so he would be my first choice. And then for coach, I like Robert Salah out of San Francisco. He fits Detroit. He's from Dearborn, so I think that he would have that mentality, that Detroit mentality, and kind of both together bringing the Detroit way here instead of the Patriot way and every other person's way. We need our own system.
Okay. Omg Its Lions Talk, man. So who are your early candidates for head coach and GM, or unless you want it to be one person?
Yeah, I think the Kansas City offensive coordinator is it Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I just like his creativeness on offense, and I think why I do like Salah. I just want an offensive guy that's gonna come with that creativity and mix it up and show them something different. That's why also I wouldn't mind. I can't think of the dude. Oh, Lincoln Riley, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know. A lot of people don't like when you go to the college realms, but man, I think Lincoln Riley would be a good fit too, man. Just that offensive scheme, man. Just somebody that's going to change it up. Because if you think about it now, the NFL is more leaning towards college. The more to spread it out and you know what I'm saying, and the quick hitters
Right.
and the going. So I just think now is ready for that college dude to come in now more than any. So I wouldn't be against that, man. And GM, man, it's that I'm gonna wait on, man, because right now it's a lot of he could be good, but I really want somebody with experience. Like I want a GM who's had GM experience, not who's been in the organization, who's been an assistant. I want somebody who's been a GM before in many organizations, so they can get this together. Because the Lions, one thing they don't need a search party and the NFL to help them find a GM. And nah, man, we just need one. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, that's how we ended up with Bob Quinn.
Yeah, the NFL gonna set us up.
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of people in the chat and listening to you guys, but I do like Louis Riddick as a GM, but I like John Dorsey the most. He does have experience, and with these GMs, look, no GM is perfect. I'm sure Bob Quinn might actually get another GM job. I don't think he was that terrible, at least at drafting. He was up and down, but free agency is where he lost me. So when I'm looking at it, you already know me, Jim Harbaugh. Give him the whole job, let him do it. It's the NFL, it's not college. But besides going that route, I'm with OMG, man. I don't want a defensive minded head coach. I just really don't. Now I'm not saying that if we get Salah, I'm gonna be upset because I do think he can be a good head coach. But I think that we need an offensive head coach. You look at a lot of these new head coaches; they're more offensive guys, especially the Cliff Kingsburys and guys like that. Isn't Kevin Stefanski like a OC in Cleveland that got promoted? Look at Frank Reich. You just look at all of these offensive guys, and that's where the league is going towards. And when I'm looking at Eric Bieniemy, I definitely think he's a good choice. But I don't know about bringing in a head coach with no experience. I really want a coach with some experience. But at the end of the day, it has to be an offensive-minded coach. I know people like Joe Brady. It's just a lot of things that have been talked about. But Jim, was Wayne Fontes defensive or offensive-minded?
Jesus, I don't remember.
Because I don't remember. But
I don't either.
Because I was
I don't
going back
think
to him because he was the only other coach that won anything. But our most successful Lions team was with the offensive-minded head coach. And I don't think that's really a coincidence. Because with offensive-minded head coaches, all you have to do is put the right defensive coordinator in place. And Terrell Austin for a couple years was, outside of 2015 once we lost Sue, but he at least was okay. He was I was very, tough on him too, but he wasn't the worst guy in the world. But you put the right DC in place and then you handle the offense and it's supposed to be good. And I think you bring in an innovative guy like Eric Bieniemy, even like a guy like Lincoln Riley, maybe even a guy like Joe Brady, somebody who just calls offense. Because I want a team that, when Stafford can't play in the game, we still win. I want to be able to win with Matt Moore, like the Kansas City Chiefs did. I want to be able to win with Taysom Hill. And that comes from having a great offensive coach. It really does. Or a great head coach in general. But mainly it seems like that's how I work. I want to be able to put David Blau and be confident that David Blau could go out and beat the Washington Redskins. You know what I'm saying? I want to be confident that I can put Chase Daniel in versus the Panthers because I'm like, let's Stafford rest. We can just throw the backup in there for a game. Let him chill. That's what I want, and after Stafford's gone and you have a new quarterback, I want him to be with a guy who's going to put him in the right situation. So a defensive coach, Saleh, it'd be great. I don't have no issues with the guy. We need an offensive mind. I just really think we do. But speak easy, man. Who are your early candidates for GM and coach?
For GM, I like Ed Dodds out of Indianapolis a lot. I think they had a situation where they lost a franchise guy in Andrew Luck, and you expect them to be in our position, but no, they're not. They're vying for a playoff spot in a very tough AFC. So I think that they know what they're doing up there in that front office in Indianapolis. Man, I definitely trust what they got going on. Been consistently drafting guys in defense, and remember too, they have a lot of cap space as a team. And they've never really signed any big free agents. You know what I'm saying? And they're kind of just excelling off of low key, signings here and there, and obviously really well drafting. But other than that, man, head coach, man, we got to go offense, man. I think there's a big question in Detroit now that the owner kind of stuck us with the future of Matthew Stafford, and he's getting up there in age too. And, his contract's almost up. I doubt he's going to want to stay here, whether we usher him out via trade or he leaves himself or retires. So I want an offensive coach who's going to be able to develop a quarterback. And like you said earlier, J-Mo, that's the way the league's going. It's offense. You look at the bright young minds of the league right now. You're looking at Sean McVay. You're looking at Kyle Shanahan. These are all offensive guys. I like Eric Bieniemy. I don't know about a head coach just because he coaches under one of the greatest head coaches to do it. Andy Reid has always had successful offenses, even back to when Alex Smith was a starting quarterback in Kansas City. So I don't necessarily credit him or give him the credit for, having an offense with a fantastic quarterback in Patrick Mahomes and a really, really great receiving core too. Like they have Sammy Watkins as a number 2, and he'd be a number 1 on any other team pretty much, So
but he does call some of those plays though.
And I'll give him that, you know what I'm saying? But throughout history, Andy Reid's been that guy.
Has a good coaching tree. So it's not really any coaches that comes from Andy Reid that don't turn out to be good, especially offensive guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure the one turn on. It just makes me nervous a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Andy Reid's a big part of that there,
Man, I understand, but he's calling them plays, man. Eric Bieniemy is a great play caller. Andy Reid is there to coach the football team.
The other thing too, though,
other decisions.
Look what he's playing with, man. You got Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill.
I mean, look, we don't have Tyreek Hill, okay? Who've I always been.
Sammy Watkins is a number 2 receiver.
We don't have that team, but we got some stuff over here, and you can build on what we have. It's not like you got TJ Hawk, if you keeping the team. Regardless, you got TJ Hawkinson and Stafford. You have Galladay if you're going to sign them. Those are cornerstones. You have DeAndre Swift, another cornerstone. You might not want to keep Marvin or Amendola. Might not want to keep Cephas. You can get rid of all of them, even though I like Cephas and I want to keep Marvin. You can get rid of all of them, draft a couple of receivers. Now your offense is set. What's he going to have a problem calling plays? Our offensive line is getting better, and I think next year it might actually be elite. So our offensive line will be solid. So on offense, at least for Bieniemy, he shouldn't have that much of a problem. Of course, he's not with the Chiefs, an organization that's way better than ours. But
That's
on
what I'm saying.
offense, at least, he shouldn't have any issue calling plays.
It's
Like,
a lot over
we don't
there.
got, we don't
that
like,
makes
we
him
don't
look
have
good,
what they
though.
have, but we still have a lot of great skilled players.
Right.
You know
No, for
what?
sure. I'm just saying he might look a little better than he is because of what he has.
Well, of course you're gonna look better when you have that receiving core, but
Yeah.
And
I don't think it
quarterback.
it don't take away from your play calling.
I would say
Like you just said, Alex Smith was good with that team. So that's Andy Reid. But when it comes to like play calling and who's actually calling the plays, they always talk about the Super Bowl and the final play, and that was Eric Bieniemy's play call to pass to Tyreek Hill. Yeah, the man has Tyreek Hill. I told people about Tyreek, now y'all late. I was like, man, this man the fastest dude in the league. How he not a top 5 receiver? Come on.
Oh yeah.
But that's another man. Hey, we had a debate about the top 5 receivers. A lot of people didn't have them in there. But
What?
yeah, hey, it is. I mean, because that's very opinionated,
Are you guys nervous about the
top
future
five
of Stafford?
rotate from game to game.
Nah, we gonna get into it. But all right, Burrow wishes he had had our line at the very least. Damn. Hey man, not laughing at Burrow. I'm just laughing at the fact
His
that
knees were set.
I feel sorry for Burrow, man. Like we've seen this happen to our QB, not be able to make it through the season because your team sucked. You just got drafted to a 1-15 team. Like, yeah, it sucked. All right, a couple more questions for you guys, and then we gonna get out of here.
Hold on, J-Mo. There's a name I left off the list for the GM, and this guy is not getting talked about. And his name is Rick Smith. You know who that guy is?
No, I do not.
He's a former general manager of the Texans, and he went on a leave of absence to take care of his wife who had breast cancer.
I
and
remember
they
that.
pushed him out of the organization. This guy,
Yeah, that's how Bill O'Brien got the job.
This guy drafted J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, Jadeveon Clowney, and Mario Williams, and signed A.J. Bourrier and Arian Foster as undrafted free agents. That guy knows how to evaluate talent.
That's a good one, Kurt.
Yeah, that man, Houston. Don't give me. They give me a headache just thinking about what Bill O'Brien was doing there, man. But yeah, he actually did end up becoming the GM because of what the hell. I did hear about the story. I just never knew the GM's name.
Yeah.
But all right, with the no, we already talked about beating Jaromski. With the Lions' new changes, how should the Lions build this team the next 2 years with Stafford on the contract for the next 2 years? So are you building around a young QB and letting him sit? What do you want to do with the team? Do you want to be Sheila, leave it up to the coaches? Or what do you think they should do for these next couple years? We're going to start with you, Jim.
What do you think? I missed the question. Go ahead.
Oh, with the new changes, how should the Lions build this team? New changes mean Patricia's gone. The next 2 years with Stafford under contract.
I think we have to build the lines out first. I think we got to finish our offensive line. I think we need to revamp the front seven of the defense. I really think we build through the trenches first, and we do need to draft a quarterback to sit under Stafford. I know a lot of people don't like that idea, but I think learning a new system and watching how the other quarterback who's seasoned just carries out his professional day. You know what I mean? Just learning under somebody. We've seen that with Aaron Rodgers under Favre. We've seen it over the league. You don't have to get somebody that can come in and start right away. You don't need that. I don't think that's necessary, but I do think it's necessary to rebuild that defense and start with the defensive line, the front seven. The linebackers are crap, so we need to rebuild that. The offensive line isn't quite complete yet. I wouldn't mind getting another offensive lineman or two in here to compete, and then let's develop Logan Stenberg and see if he can take that right guard position. And we need a right tackle too, because Big V is not the answer there.
That was the dumbest move. I swear I hate Bob Quinn. I'm like, you just an idiot. Like, you get Big V $50 million and you let the better guy get a cheaper contract. He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
But like Bob Quinn, free agency. Oh man, like only thing he ever did was get Anquan Bolden and Marvin Jones. I feel like, and Romeo Okwara. I feel like. So, all right, Sweet Easy man, what's your thoughts on this whole topic, man?
Man, this one goes deep, man. I think, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, man. A lot of people who are in love with Stafford, have been in love with Stafford the past couple of years, do not want to hear this, but I think it may be time to get a completely fresh start here in Detroit, man. At 32 years old, Coming up on back injuries and stuff like that. It's with him too. I fear mentally he may not be able to sit through another being sold another rebuild. Like it's gonna be a tough sell on the Lions' part to tell him like, oh, here we go again, like for the fourth time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be tough for us to sell this to him. And he's done nothing but lose. He's been a victim of criticism. His wife's been very unhappy these past couple of years. So I think it's time, man, to especially coming with a new coach. Get him someone he can build around, because the league's changing, man. I don't know if you guys notice, a lot of these quarterbacks are leading these teams can run a little bit, and we don't have that with aging Stafford. And I think it's just a tough sell for us as an organization to keep him here. It's just kind of like in a relationship, how many more times you be getting second chances now? You know what I'm saying? It's at some point you gotta realize it just doesn't work, and it's tough, man. I don't know who's gonna be the right person to come and do that. I think we just have to build our teams completely like fresh. We're going to need a really good GM though, man, because we're not going to have a top 10 pick in the draft. It's looking like, or just maybe outside of that. And we got to figure something out, man. I don't know if Stafford's going to be here these next 2 years.
No, I mean, if you look at his contract, he at least should be here next year, if our new GM, oh my gosh, I don't even want to talk about it. It's 30, almost 20 million in dead cap. If you give that's just dumb. But all right, OMG, man, what's your thoughts on this?
Look, you already know where I'm going. Okay, I'm not so sad as my man Speak Easy. He can go today, really. I've had enough of the whole thing. Like him, he can take Don Moore back with his ass. Like they all can. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to start afresh, anew. Like, I don't want none of the old nothing. I'm ready to start a total new beginning. I don't know why people keep wanting to hold on to little parts from other GMs and no, man, just let it go. We ain't want to play. So
you want to get rid? You want to get rid of Rag now, and you want to get rid of?
No, what? I'm not talking, man. I'm not talking. See, I didn't say nothing. I was saying anything about Rag now. I'm talking about.
You said everybody. You said everybody for the past GM.
I'm talking about Matt Stafford, man, and Don Moore back. Just go, man. It's like it's time to start anew. It's like stop trying to hang on to. You know what I'm saying? To little pieces, and we're trying to hang on to pieces, and what has it done for us?
What? All right, man.
I'm
trying to go on to a good quarterback.
I'm not saying nothing about him being a quarterback.
Don't disrespect Stafford by mentioning him with Dow Muleback.
Listen, I'm saying I'm not. Come on, man. You can take it out of context. I'm talking about all the old people from that first regime. It's time just to wipe the slate clean, man, and just start fresh. That's all I'm saying. Start fresh. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Just start new, man. That's it, man. That's all I want. Is just for us to get a fresh start.
This what I don't get. Aren't we gonna start new 3 years from now when Stafford's probably not on the team? What y'all in the rush for? Y'all so in a rush to go 0-16. Like I just don't get it.
It's not that. It's just that. Why can't we start anew? What are we holding on to?
I just told you. We'll be starting anew. No matter what happens in 3 years, we'll be starting anew. But you want to be, like I said, you in a rush to go 0-16, and hopefully you get another Trevor Lawrence, then good for you. Because I
will never game, man. We don't want a playoff game or division. What is you holding on to?
We ain't won a playoff game since 1991.
Exactly.
Bro.
So what was you holding on to? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So we should have just got rid of Barry too. What was you holding on to?
No, I'm talking, man.
You should have got rid of Calvin too. What was you holding on? What are you talking about? What are you holding on to? What are you talking about? What are you talking like? But if you want to move on, cool. But my thing is, I have no understanding why Lions fans are in a rut. It's like y'all want to get rid of Stafford now so we can suck. I don't get it. I would rather build the front seven for my next quarterback because I want a quarterback that doesn't have to carry the team. And I'm sitting him behind Stafford for 2 years and then seeing where the team is because the front seven is the problem with this team. I'm drafting defense first round. The front seven, if you fix the front seven on this team, the team is pretty solid. O-line is good enough at times. Sometimes it's very inconsistent because of Big V. But, we got some skill positions. We got some running backs. It's really the front seven that's a problem. Obrien and those guys in the secondary, they just play worse because the D-line doesn't get any pressure. But like I told y'all this season, our linebackers was the worst unit on the team. And once again, they are again. They're terrible. And we need to do something about fixing that front seven. Because once you fix the front seven, the entire team will be better.
We're gonna have to restart though, J-Mo, even with Stafford. I think we know by now that Stafford can't carry the team to a victory.
No, you don't.
And this team has a lot more issues than just the front seven.
No, they don't. I just broke it down.
Bro.
Tell me the rest of the issues. Besides the front seven, what's wrong with the team?
When have we had a consistent rush game?
Answer my question. Besides the front seven, what's wrong with the team?
Are we consistently rushing the ball?
You're not answering the question.
I'm asking. I'm pointing out a problem.
No, answer my question with a question. Answer my question first. Besides the front seven, what's the problem with the team?
Okay, our rushing. Our quarterback who's thrown a couple pick sixes this year. Our quarterback who's had some back injuries. Our backup quarterback situation behind him. We got to build this team like all around, man.
First
the
of
fact
all,
that we haven't re-signed Kenny Galladay, so we don't know what our
problem with a team.
We don't know where we're at.
What are you talking about?
Either, man.
So Stafford's the problem with the team?
No,
what?
But he can't carry it solely by himself. We know that by now.
No quarterback. We know that by now. No quarterback in NFL history has ever carried a team this trash. Show me an example. I'm so sick of that. Show me an example. Aaron Rodgers had a defense that had the most interceptions in NFL history in the playoffs, bro. 7 interceptions.
Okay, Stafford's had that too.
And when they no. When they didn't, when his defense didn't get 7 interceptions, Aaron Rodgers ain't never been to the Super Bowl again, bro. Stop it. Aaron Rodgers didn't do it.
Hey.
When the Stafford defense had
2014, did Matthew Stafford not have a defense?
7 interceptions. What are you talking about?
In 2014, did Matthew Stafford not have a defense?
And what did they do?
And what's that to do with the interception?
What did they do? Did you watch the game? What did they do?
It's time to let it go, J-Mo. He's not the guy,
It ain't time to let it go. You got to make smarter points, bro. You don't know what you're talking about,
You got an Elsa Frozen. Let it go,
bro. I can't. It's all good. It's all good when Stafford not on his team and we 3-13 and he's winning the Super Bowl. Y'all gonna look dumb.
3-13 with them, bro. Like that's what I'm saying.
Because we just had the worst coach he's ever had.
But by this amount of time,
you got rid of the best coach he ever had and gave him the worst coach, and you still blaming Stafford.
Start, bro. He's not.
Come on, no. Please tell me, how do you replace Caldwell with Matt Patricia and it's Stafford fault? I want to hear it.
I didn't say it's Stafford. I'm saying there's a whole mess.
You saying he's not the guy. You literally took a good to okay coach and replaced him with a guy that's the worst in history when it comes to blowing leads. You cannot blame Stafford.
When we had that coach benched Matthew Stafford at one point.
When we had that coach, we were competitive and we were winning games and we were building towards whatever we were trying to do. We just regressed because Bob Quinn did one of the stupid moves in Lions history. You brought in Matt Patricia. 13 wins. Come on, man.
But that doesn't make Stafford the solution for this team, though, man.
He is the solution. He's not the reason we're not winning, bro. What are you talking about?
He touches the ball every single play. He could check and make audibles at that line anytime he wants to. I'm not saying
Jerry
he's a
Harrington
sole problem.
already done told you they don't allow players to call plays, bro.
Speak easy.
Not the problem.
They do whatever they want.
You say he's not. Then who the answer, bro? Who do you want? Who do you want?
I done been with J-Mo about this forever and not gonna change his mind. There's no point.
It ain't nothing about y'all not making no concise points. Y'all got nothing to back up what y'all saying.
Y'all just ignore
everything.
We got 12 years.
I said no. I asked you what was wrong with the team. And you said Stafford in the running game. DeAndre Swift is a freaking stud. That won't be a problem no more. And then you said Stafford. You did say Stafford. You said the running game, and then you said
Stafford's not the answer. I said we know by now. I said there's a lot of issues with this team. A lot more than that front seven. There's a rushing game as well. We don't know what our future is with the receivers. We haven't re-signed Kenny Galladay.
How can the people expect a guy to carry a team with the worst rushing attack in the history of the league and the second worst defense in the history?
We know what he is at this point, though, J-Mo. He's not the answer, though. At this point.
Oh, my fault. My fault, bro. He ain't perfect. That's what you're telling me.
He's not perfect. No, it's not. It don't hurt.
Was saying he's not the answer would mean that he's the reason he's not keeping us from winning games. The team sucks. You just had
when you throw a pick six, you're automatically giving the point the team you're facing. Like you're putting yourself in the hole in so many more ways. Like what do you mean? He's not perfect, guys. Like he's not.
Okay, he threw a pick. Like Aaron Rodgers threw 2 pick sixes in the same game. Everybody throws a pick six. What are you talking about?
Like I'm saying, like we got to restart everything here, man. Like,
And I'm saying, why are y'all in a rush to go 1-16?
Because what are we doing? You are talking like scrappy-ish with this team, man. We're not good.
We're not good because of the head coach that we just fired. That's why.
That's why.
That's why. That is why.
It's gonna take some more than coach. It's gonna take some
no,
more than
no, it's
coach,
not gonna take more than coach. Coaches is the most important thing in football. All it takes is a good head coach. Sean McVay literally had the same roster as a 4-12 Jeff Fisher. The next year they won 11 games.
The other thing too.
No. Let me finish.
Guess what?
The other thing with the same roster. With the same roster, Jared Goff played. He played with Jeff Fisher.
Young quarterback.
He played with Jeff Fisher. It looked like hot garbage. Got Sean McVay with the same roster, and they won 11 games. All they did was change the head coach.
Does Sean McVay have a new quarterback to mold? Do you have a nice young quarterback to mold?
What does that have to do with them winning games?
Because older guys like that, they get stuck in their ways, man. That's why you see issues.
What are you talking about? They get stuck in their way. What are you talking? What?
They get stuck in their ways. What do you mean that they has? This is what happens.
What does Sean McVay having a young quarterback to mold have to do with him leading the Rams to wins?
What? You sound crazy. That's an absolute perfect.
It don't matter what quarterback he had. He could have had a lot of quarterbacks.
Every new offensive-minded coach would love a new quarterback to mold. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of coaches would love a guy like Stafford. What are you talking about?
Hey, J-Mo, look at the comments, man. Look at the comments,
that's because
man.
Dr. Detroit is a hater. He been hating since the beginning of the stream.
And look at go back through and look at all the comments, man. Like, you gotta understand, like.
I don't need to look at the comments. I don't need to look at the comments. Y'all Lions fans. Y'all Lions fans.
It's time to let go and let God. J-Mo, let go and let God.
And I'm telling y'all, and Jim will tell you, he's been a fan for 40 years. When we let go, we are going to be so fucking trash.
I kind of agree with that in a way.
We're going to be. No, let me finish. We're going to be
right now. We've been trash with this man.
We won more games with him than any other guy, so I don't want to hear that. We're going to be so trash, and Stafford going to be on another team winning, and y'all going to be looking stupid. And I'm going to come on here every day and clown y'all because that's exactly what's going to happen. That's why I say I don't know why y'all in a rush. You need to sit a young quarterback behind Stafford and build a damn team before you do something stupid and leave that new quarterback to be injured like Joe Burrow with his knee broken in half. You saw what happened to Stafford first season, injured. Y'all just want to throw another guy and throw him into another trash team. Y'all think he gonna make gold out of shit.
Actually, I want to do that.
No quarterback has ever made gold out of shit with this team but Bobby Lane. Right. When was that? So I don't want to hear that, man.
I wanted us to draft a quarterback 2 years ago to get him ready to get him ready.
You're not drafting the quarterback when your quarterback is 30 years old and
to get him ready, man. That's you know what I'm saying, to get him ready because you go back 2 years ago.
I'm not drafting the quarterback.
When your quarterback has been in the league for 10 years, ain't won a division title and ain't won a playoff game, it's okay. You're like, okay, let's start to try to mold somebody. You know what I'm saying?
But
and maybe
he's not the reason that we haven't won a division title.
No, he might not be, but that's like the easy out.
I keep trying to tell you, a new quarterback is not the answer, bro. What did the Eagles do this year?
It's not the answer.
The Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. How that's working? Drafting a new guy and developing does not always work.
Nobody
you know that, right? You know that, right? What is this new guy gonna do? He's not gonna do nothing.
Okay, look, he don't want to let go, man. So he don't want to let go. He like that dude with that girl that you just like. Look, she ain't good, dog. He just don't want to let go. So
I get it. The one question I want to ask. Let Jim talk. One question I want to ask is this. Name me the better quarterback than Stafford since Bobby Lane.
But you're talking about the past, though. We're talking about moving on. We're talking about the future. We're not talking about the past.
No.
But Matthew Stafford's the best. Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback we've ever had. Absolutely, 100%. Undisputedly, Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback the Detroit Lions has ever had.
Right?
Has he been a winner?
No, because we haven't built a defense. Okay. We haven't built a running game.
It's not much to say for the Lions.
Know that stuff. Come on.
But it's not much to say for the Detroit Lions that Matthew Stafford's the best we've ever had.
Running back of all time. Like, what do you mean? Is he a winner? Is he not better than Emmitt Smith? Because Emmitt Smith has
he won playoffs. That's when we last won playoff games with Barry Sanders. Yeah, Barry Sanders was a winner.
No, he wasn't. He only won one playoff game. Emmitt Smith got multiple rings. Ain't he better? What you talking about? Walter Payton got a ring. Ain't he better? Jim Brown got a ring. Ain't he better?
talking about winning games. He won games. Like what he did resulted in wins.
Barry Sanders had 3 good seasons with the Lions when they really won games, and that's the truth.
But he won. They won games. Like the end result they won
games with the Lions.
Barry Sanders was more of a winning piece than Matthew Stafford is, unfortunately. And the fact that Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback we ever had isn't saying much.
I would say the team around Barry Sanders
you haven't had good quarterbacks.
That's true, and that's why I don't feel like we should get rid of the one that we have.
So when do we do it though? Like when do we? When do we
start?
I think honestly,
you do it when he can't
honestly,
play
I think
well
we,
anymore.
honestly, I
like
think
what
we
happened
draft.
with Phillip Rivers. You
I
do
think
it
we
when he
draft one
becomes
this year.
washed. You saw what the Chargers did with Phillip Rivers. They gave him a chance. They built a great team around him. They won 12 games. Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done. They're like, all right, Phillip, we gonna draft Justin Herbert. They look just fine. That's what you do. You don't use the guy while he's still in his prime.
That's what we're talking about doing.
Get rid of him for no reason. That's just dumb.
But
I'm not
no
trading
reason.
Stafford for no 3rd round pick, bro. Like no. Like that's not worth it at all, especially when you can have a young guy.
What were you gonna say though, Jim?
No,
Okay.
I was just the only reason I was comparing to past is because of the fact that it's been so many years and so many mistakes and things like that for getting a quarterback. But my thing is, I don't even think that's the biggest problem with the Lions. I think the biggest problem with the Lions is the defensive line, the linebackers, and the lack of running game. And I think that's what we need to address. I mean, Stafford, whether he stays another year or he don't, I don't think it makes a huge deal of difference when you don't have a defense and you don't have a running game.
Well, that's how we got into this whole conversation because I asked him the problems with his team, and he brought up Swift and Stafford, and then that's how we got into this whole conversation.
I said our rushing. I didn't say Stafford.
Our rushing attack, which is an indictment on Swift, and you did say Stafford, and you brought up his pick sixes, man. You literally said that.
I was saying that because you were trying to say he's like Lord and Savior over here, like he's perfect. Oh,
he's not the Lord and Savior, but he is not the problem with.
He don't have no
not
issues.
Not even close, man. Like. Not even close.
But I wanted to ask this too, though. Is like how do we sell this? How do we sell this to Stafford?
Every team. Look at Carson Wentz right now. You know what the Eagles saying? The Eagles fans saying
top 10 in the NFL right now. Then
they saying Carson Wentz don't got no running game. They saying he don't got no receivers. All it is a bunch of excuses, and he got 14 touchdowns and 16 interceptions and lead the league in pick sixes. I wish Stafford could do that and get some excuses. That'd be nice. All I'm saying
he gets excuses
every
now.
other quarterback. No, he don't get excuses. He don't get excuses while leading the league in interceptions, bro. That would never happen.
For 10 minutes.
Does he lead the league in picks?
Right now, no.
He never has. He never has. Stafford could never lead the league in picks and get defended. Come on, bro. What you talking about?
You defending him.
Does he lead the league in picks, though? What are you talking about? Does he lead the league in picks? That's what I'm talking. I'm saying Stafford could never play as bad as Wentz has and get defended. He never could. He's playing. He got 18 touchdowns, 8 picks, and people losing their damn minds.
You'd be surprised,
come on,
bro.
Man.
You'd be
surprised.
What you
mean not be surprised it hasn't happened, bro? Whenever Stafford has high turnovers, he always get criticized. What are you talking about?
1, 2, 3.
Like, I see Eagles fans defending Carson Wentz night and day, and that man look like hot garbage. Stafford ain't never looked that bad.
Stafford's 3 picks away from leading the league in interceptions. But anyway, let me ask you this: How we
Russell
sell
Wilson
Stafford
has more interceptions than Stafford. Nice try. Come on.
I'm saying he's still that okay. He's still 3 interceptions away from the league. That's still facts. But how do you sell Stafford?
How is he 3 interceptions for leading the league when Carson Wentz
because Stafford has 8
interceptions?
Carson
Wentz has 15.
What am I looking at?
Yeah, then what are you looking at? Carson Wentz has 15 interceptions.
Man, I see the big ass tie at 11. But either way, how do we sell Stafford on doing this a 4th time? Like, you think he cares to be here again? Like going through another rebuild after being sold that idea?
You let him play out his contract and try to build that defense. And if he wants to go, let him go. That's all you do. You draft a quarterback,
you lose him for nothing.
Let him play out his contract. Look at the Chargers. They lost Phillip Rivers for nothing. They're just fine.
We're not the Chargers, though, man.
What do you mean?
We're not that type of team. Our organization isn't good enough to bounce back. Just as bad as the Chargers
to get a top 10 pick to hopefully get a Justin Herbert. So I don't want to hear. The Chargers didn't do nothing special. All they did was literally let Phillip Rivers walk and draft Justin Herbert. That wasn't hard to do.
The Chargers are a better organization than the Detroit Lions, though.
But also it speaks to us and how we use draft picks. If you were going to trade Stafford for a draft pick, do you really trust? And that's the thing. We have to get the GM right, because you have to trust the GM to actually use that pick on somebody qualified to be here.
Exactly, man.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is I feel like the results would be the same. You know?
Could be. I'm not even saying you're wrong. All I'm saying is, like I said, this GM hire is really important. I think that we need to build the defense and build the offensive line. The offensive line is decent, but it's not complete. You know, we got good blocking tight ends. We should have a good running game coming up pretty soon. And if we can stop anybody, we might win some games.
And that's all I'm saying. Like, when I look at that front seven, if that front seven was 2014 front seven, good lord. Like, with TJ Hockenson and DeAndre Swift, now you talking about actually doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to build this team, and if Stafford leaves, you can bring in a young quarterback that's been sitting for 2 years, and he can have a running back and a tight end and a defense. Like, that's what all these other teams do. Usually stuff can happen like Kyle Murray or Joe Burrow or Baker Mayfield getting drafted. That'll happen. But sometimes you have your Lamar Jacksons. Sometimes you have Patrick Mahomes, who can sit on a great Chiefs team and just come into the league with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and an O-line. Defense was trash. But Mahomes, I mean, he just walked into the room with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Like, wouldn't you love for our next quarterback to be able to do that? And the defense can play. You got to remember, Aaron Rodgers is getting old. Like, you got to be smart building this team for the future. It's not just about Stafford. It's about this other guy that y'all think is going to, like, take us somewhere. If he wants to take us somewhere, it can't be him. It has to be the team. Look at what Josh Allen has been through. He, like, first season was nothing, but the Bills still won 10 games because of their defense. The next year, got a little better. Now he looks a little better now, but look at that defense. What is he really doing? Now, I'm not saying he's not doing anything. He's playing very well this year, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what is he really doing besides that team? You could put a lot of quarterbacks there, and they would be able to win the same amount of games. That's why you build those dominant defense around those young QBs, because when you don't, it's crazy. It's a crapshoot, man. It's usually going to look like Cincinnati. But let's move on to the last question, and then we're going to take some of your questions in the chat, man.
Hey, you gonna let me answer, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Here's my thing, and this is real quick. One thing I really want to do for the Lions is increase the team speed. We've been handicapped with slow ass players under the Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia regime. I want some speed on the team, and we need, especially on the offense in the skill positions, we need some on the outside. We need some speed guys. And besides Marvin Hall and maybe, I know Agnew came up, well, we need some guys that can get separation down the field on the outside. So that's all I want.
This is my thing. Nothing you said is wrong. Mm-hmm. But if I did the same thing with TJ Hockenson last year, creating separation. I mean, Quintez Cephas stay open. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not speed. And I'm not saying we definitely need more speed. But so I feel like we have players that get open. Danny Amendola, but he get open. So I feel like we don't even take advantages of what we can take advantage of. And Marvin Hall stays open a lot now. We definitely need a slot receiver that's, I'll say, highly drafted. That's a stud, but who knows about that? But
but I'm talking on the outside. I'm talking about like a speed burn on the outside. Because I'll
ask you this though: how many besides Tyreek Hill? How many of the best receivers in the league like that?
I mean, you have some guys. I mean, and Julio Jones on his best day, he got
Julio Jones ran a 4.3, but it's just I just feel like
Andre Hopkins can get some separation. So
the best receivers in the league are just like outside of really Tyreek Hill and Julio, because Julio was fat. Like the best receivers are just like real-rounded monsters, most of them.
Yeah. So I mean, but I do want some team speed. Because that's one thing we've been lacking in Detroit. We need some speed. We're so slow right now. It's ridiculous.
I agree with that. I think speed on the defense too, especially the linebacking.
On the defense, yeah. But that's all I wanted. So that
no, Cephas definitely has had some problem with some drops this year. Oh, I did want to say something. say something before we move on. But that's why I actually am very confident in Cephas, because he open. Have you ever seen Cephas drop a pass when he wasn't open? So that lets you know he doing something right. He just got to finish the other part. Don't be Obrien. But I just wanted to talk some smack a little bit to all you Travis Fulgham lovers. I had y'all coming at my throat, coming at my neck on my video about Travis Fulgham. Oh, you need to do a new video. This ain't aging well. It's not looking good. I think you need to do another video. And I'm like, I'm not making another video. What Travis Fulgham doing now? I was told he was better than Marvin Jones. I was told that he was a savior. I was told he was a beast. I was told that we slept on him. And I told y'all, I like Fulgham. He's a good receiver who I always thought would be a good receiver, but he's good. He ain't elite. He ain't a stud. He's being bitched for Alshon Jeffrey, who owned one leg. That lets you know how much they really think of this guy. So shut up to me about some Travis damn Fulgham. The Lions didn't need him, wasn't going to use him, and that's just the reality of the situation. We got Marvin Hall and other guys doing work. Eagles fans are very bitter in the chat because I came at their head. I don't care, bro. They was go. That's probably the most comments I've ever had on any video, and it's just Eagles fans. You're wrong. How y'all look now? Stupid. That's all I had to say. Now we got to move on.
At the quarterback position.
Now we got to move on. Hey, Lamar Jackson he played for the Ravens, bro. Let's see. All right. TJ Hawkinson is the league leader in the NFC for Pro Bowl votes. And if you check all the tight end stats, literally there's only one tight end playing better than TJ Hawkinson this year. His name is Travis Kelce. Literally, Hawkinson has the second most yards and touchdowns after that. But, okay, we're going to start with you, Kurt, man. Does TJ potentially being in the Pro Bowl in his second year and being the second most productive tight end in the league while being underutilized? Is TJ living up to his hype?
I think if they used him more, he could be doing even better. And that's really one thing. He's underutilized, and he's the league leader. I mean, he's the team leader in receptions right now, and he's still underutilized. So I think he's making a way where he can be an elite tight end here the next year or so.
Yeah, but see, that's why I'm so excited. How do you be underutilized and you still the second best tight end in the league? And we know every year there's injuries, so I know George Kittle healthy is better, but he's hurt this year. So how do you do that? Like, how special is this guy? Like, I'm almost thinking if we was like, forget everybody else on the team, we just throw in the TJ, he might be better than Travis Kelce, but we won't know till next year when he gets even more opportunity, I think.
But think about this. George Kittle backed up TJ Hawkinson at Iowa.
No, he did, and he said TJ Hawkinson was better than him. And usually people say that, but you can tell he meant it when he said that.
Mm-hmm.
No, he did back him up. No, TJ is special talent, but we still got people talking. So hey, I'm gonna stay on this all year. But OMG, man, what's your thoughts? Is TJ living up to his hype?
Yeah, he is. He is, man. It's just that we haven't figured out how to plan for him, or we just don't give him the consideration. Like, we need to plan for TJ like the Eagles planned for Zach Ertz a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? How you have him that much in the mix, or like the Ravens do for Mark Andrews. And those two dudes, I think, are the models that we gotta, pattern ourselves after, man. How to use TJ Hawkinson, because if we don't, then we just underutilize him.
No, most definitely, man. Look, I'm speculating. I don't have anything to back this up, but I'm blaming Matt Patricia for the underutilization of TJ Hawkinson. So, because you remember that, what game was that? Was it the Vikings game where we threw the ball to Danny Amendola like 1 billion times? And we was like force-feeding Danny Amendola the ball? You tell me that wasn't Matt Patricia? Like, Darryl Bevell ain't never had a game plan like that again. But, all right, speak easy. Is TJ, is he living up to the hype that you have for him with him potentially being in the Pro Bowl and being the second most productive tight end right now?
Absolutely, man. I'm ecstatic about this guy and his future here in Detroit, man. I just hope that we can build a winning team around him to make him want to stay, and because he's definitely like a winning piece. A lot of these winning organizations, they have a tight end as a key piece to offense. George Kittle was it for San Francisco, and Travis Kelce's it for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm just glad that we have that at least we have that part down as far as like a winning recipe. I'm happy with him. Yes.
Well, I'm really surprised right now. Maybe Jim will change it up. Jim, what's your thoughts on this?
Not going to change it up. In fact, I'm going to add to it. He's also a really good blocker, which is hard to find these days. It's usually one or the other, but he can do both really well. And the one thing I don't think the Lions do enough is to put him and give him some slant routes over the middle and stuff like that, so that he can just get some easy catches and break some tackles, get down the field. I don't know if I like the screen plays to him so much. I think he could be a deeper threat. That's what he was in Iowa, and I think he could do that here. I don't think he's even touched his potential yet.
I actually like the screen plays because we always get a first down.
I think he could be used for much bigger, is what I think.
I mean, he needs slant routes. He needs a play action deep route. I mean, like kind of like the fleet flicker. Now, I feel like his first season, because I remember, I think it was the Chargers game. Yeah, it was the Chargers game. Stafford threw deep to TJ a couple times, and he was a rookie. He dropped one, he couldn't catch it. And then, like, after that, it seemed like they went away from that. But we'll see if that changes. But, I mean, what can I say about TJ? Like, the dude's a stud.
Then he got to start the defense, man. They just got to use him. Like, man, they need to watch the tape of the Super Bowl when they used Zach Ertz. When Philly used Zach Ertz, how they used him all over. He was like their number one weapon. Mm-hmm. That's how they need to use TJ. They need to watch that.
Most definitely, and especially when Galladay isn't playing, that's even more an incentive. But the thing about TJ is I have to give him credit. I mean, let's not act like he didn't have an injury that could have potentially hindered him for the rest of his career. But he came back from it. We saw him. I mean, I was salivating at the TV watching him work out with George Kittle and the routes he was running and train in the summer. Like, these routes is kind of crisp now. Like, and yes, we see it now on the field. Like, them routes was like they were crisp. And I feel like he went out and he learned. To me, this is what I want Okudah to do next year. Go out and live up. No, I'm sick because I feel like TJ felt like he had to live up to something. Of course, I'm speculating a little bit, but I felt like he felt like he had to live up to being 8th overall. Maybe, I don't know. Like, because he really had to work. Like, he wasn't as good of a blocker last year. He didn't know the playbook. He didn't get separation as well. He wasn't as strong. Of course, he had some drop this year that's pissed me off. But to me, he ain't perfect, but he has so much to do. When a guy's in your second year, and the NFL is different every season. 1 year, Kenny Galladay can lead the league with 11 touchdowns. And then the next year, guys leading the league with 15. Next year, 14 touchdowns. The next year, a guy lead the league with 10 touchdowns. And this season, this COVID year, Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league. TJ Hawkinson is the second best tight end in the league. And you cannot take that away, Lions fans. I know Brian Burns is good, but hear me. In his second year, being underutilized, he's the second best at his position. And if you don't want to say that, put George Kittle ahead of him. He top 3. Rolling out of bed, the guy is special, and he was the right pick. We didn't make a mistake. I just want Lions fans to know that, because if this man made the Pro Bowl in his second year, I mean, he has to be the first player since, like, Calvin Johnson that's done that? Like, at a wide receiver that quick? I mean, at a receiver type of position?
I think we got to stop valuing players as picks and value them more as players. Because once we pick them, they're here, man. You know, saying that first year, whatever, it's a rookie year, you could be rough. Oh, we shouldn't have took that person. But like, at what point do we? He's on our team, man. We just had to value him as a player.
You're making me laugh because you just told me you ain't been on Twitter a lot. Yeah, so you ain't been on Twitter to see, man. Like, people, when we played the Panthers, even though TJ had a great game against the Panthers, all this Brian Burns. You know what? Brian Burns ain't been balling since he wasn't playing the Lions, and he's great. He's a phenomenal. He gonna make the Pro Bowl too. So I'm not taking nothing away, but I'm saying he feasted on the Lions, and the next week he didn't feast. That's all I'm saying. Everybody look good against the Lions, bro. Who's that dude from Houston that had like them 2 forced fumbles looking like prime rate Lewis, dog? I don't know who that was, the dude from Houston. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, no, that is what happens. People are still trying to tell us that TJ Hawkinson was the wrong pick because he's a tight end. And I'm like, you drafted a stud. How is that wrong? I don't care what position it is. I don't understand how I've drafted it. I don't care what position it is. If you draft a stud, how is it wrong? Unless it's like first overall. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. You pick to hit. And that's what I was saying with Okudah. He's had his year this year, but he needs to come back with a new motivation next year to try to improve. Okuda should switch to safety, man. Hey, we've been killing Luke G on that, but Okuda ain't looking good, bro. It ain't looking good for you. You know, Luke gonna try to gloat about that when he hears this back. But Okuda, play well, or they might move you to safety, bro. Come on.
Stop, man. They need to move him to the water.
It ain't looking good for you.
To the
But I just
water.
want him to be, I don't care. I really don't care where he plays. I just want him to be a great football player. You know?
TJ Hawkinson is the second best tight end in the league on a losing team.
Exactly. If he played for the Chiefs, he. I just had to laugh.
And
If
they
Travis
didn't use
Kelce
him
wasn't
right.
there, if they didn't have Travis
Yep.
Kelce and they had TJ Hawkinson, good lord.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
don't
saying
even
he's
use
better.
him
I'm not
right.
saying Hawkinson is better than Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
He's
But-
on a losing team that doesn't use him right, and he's not he's underutilized.
Like
So-
it's possible TJ Hawkinson could be like I was surprised, but looking at the stats, and you know why I feel like he's getting all this recognition, believe it or not, fantasy football. TJ Hawkinson has been a model of consistency this year. Besides, like I think a couple games he didn't have a good game, but I mean, fantasy owners can back me up. I think he's like you could depend on him to at least do something moderate for you every time in fantasy. Then they go look at guys go stat watch. This guy literally could be all pro with Travis Kelce this year. Like I don't think people understand that while being underutilized. If this man makes the all pro, man, Darren Waller's in the
Darren Waller is
AFC.
actually
He's in the AFC.
he's
though.
number 2. He's number 2 in the entire league. But this dude has 20 more receptions, so Hawkinson's definitely killing it. As
But
far
Waller
as,
doesn't have more
okay.
yards. Or
No, Waller
touchdowns.
has 542 yards, and Hawkinson has 530. What I'm looking at, but he has 20 more receptions. So I'm just saying, like
I mean,
that.
well,
That's
yeah, he does have 20
a benefit
receptions.
to. Yeah, that's a
How many
benefit to
touchdowns
Hawkinson.
he got? 4?
5. They both got 5.
Okay, yeah, the Raiders just played whoever they played, and they just updated it. But I mean, he has 20 more receptions.
Yeah,
If TJ had 20 more receptions,
Hawkins is doing his
you
damn
talking
thing.
you talking about what 700 yards probably in a couple of 1 or 2 touchdowns. Like, come on. And I just
Man,
want
I hope
Lions
we get
fans
Galladay
to
back, man.
get over this. I know people were upset we drafted a tight. Get over this. This man is a beast. Like I got so upset about DeAndre Swift, and what I do, I got over that. Was like, yeah, I was wrong. We should have taken him where we took him. He a monster. Like sometimes you got to admit that you was wrong a little bit and just get over it. We drafted a freaking stud, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Y'all know I'm president of the TJ Hawkinson fan club because a lot of people hating on my mans, but let's just hope he continues to play well. And I'm with you, Speak Easy. You know what? We're going to do that question right now. And then we're going to go to you guys in the chat. Just off the top of my head right now. What are the Lions going to do with Kenny Galladay? And what do you want the Lions to do with Kenny Galladay? That's the question. Okay, y'all got it? Y'all got it? Y'all got it? All right, man. All right, OMG. What do you think the Lions will do with Kenny G? But what would you want to do with Kenny G?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with what I would want to do with Kenny G. Is I will try to get him to come down on his price a little bit, which I know is probably not gonna happen since Detroit's in like the dead spot of the NFL where you don't get no type of endorsements or none of that. You don't get no popularity from national televised games or none of that. So you don't get no, So I know him asking for that high price is, man, it's hard, man. It's so hard because when you're trying to build a team, because you're gonna have to build a team from scratch. I think the last thing you want to do is pay a wide receiver $18 million. So, man.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to sign him for. Because he probably asking for 21.
I know. I mean, yeah, but I mean, if we building from the scratch, from the ground up, paying him $18 million it is not feasible, really. And I really want Galladay because I really, really believe that Kenny G can be an elite number 1. But man, I just know we probably shouldn't do it. Like just at the state of the team. If we was in a better state, then yeah. If we wouldn't have to start over from scratch and build from the ground up again, then I would. But since we do have to, I would say sign and trade him, man. Sign and trade him.
Oh man, that'd be heartbreaking.
I know, man. I
no,
know.
it would be.
I know.
Now, I'm gonna get to what I want the Lions to do. Once I think they are gonna franchise him. I hate it, but I think they might. The Lions actually might franchise him. I would love if they signed him to a deal, but I don't think the Lions are that smart. Now, what I would do is, of course, I'm paying Kenny Galladay, but I'm with Omg. Now, you saw about 18 million is too much, but 18 million is where we got to pray that we sign him for it. I know people talk about 18 million. I'll put it simply. Look at Kyler Murray. Look at Kyler Murray before DeAndre Hopkins, and look at him now. Before DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray was good. Wasn't he the offensive rookie of the year? He was good, right? Mm-hmm. Now look at him with DeAndre Hopkins. Did you see that Hail Mary? Like, so, and D-Hop is, like, paid. My point is, eventually we're going to have to pay wide receiver big money on this team. Like, you're not going to be able to beat the Patriots and get out of that at 14 to be normal. Every team at some point in time, they pay their wide receiver. And I'm saying it's us and we're due, but when you're trying to build a new team, if you're trying to get rid of Stafford and trade him, why wouldn't you want your guy to be able to throw to Kenny Galladay? What did David Blau do with Kenny Galladay, a rookie, in his first start, undrafted, first pass, 70-yard touchdown to Kenny Galladay? That's why you have a guy as your young cornerstone to be with that young quarterback, and of course Stafford while he's here, to be with that young quarterback so he could have something that somebody like, oh man, I got Swift, I got Hockenson, I got Galladay. Great. Because I think it's good for that young guy to build around. Of course, you can easily draft another guy that'll be an elite receiver. But why we acting like that's easy? The Eagles been trying to draft receivers for Carson Wentz for 3 years. Look how they doing. They passed on DK Metcalf and a host of other studs. So it's not always that easy to draft receivers. Some teams can't draft wide receivers. So when I'm looking at that, I think that I would keep him, but I do think the Lions are probably going to franchise him. I just don't like it. I'm just trying to, man, be so invested in the next regime after Stafford's gone because I really don't want to have to watch another Lions team where we got a quarterback trying to carry a team. Build these guys some pieces. And to me, kind of like Hockenson, Galladay is a cornerstone piece. And the last thing I'll say, I pay you when you the best in the league at what you do. When we come to skill positions. To me, Galladay the best contested catcher in the league, best jump ball receiver in the league. There have been guys that have had that title. Yes, 100% the best. And
he is one of the best 50-50 ball catchers in the league, for real.
He's one of the best. He's not the best, though.
No, he is the best. The stats back him up. Last year, Galladay had the most contested catches. And before he got hurt, this year he had the most contested catches. Mm-hmm. So... Because Allen Robinson was number 2 in contested catches last year. And we see the eye test, too. It's not just the number. Like we see,
he's definitely good. He's good.
Like,
I'm just not.
Hey,
I'm not.
Who better, man? They don't got who better. They don't got the stats, and they don't got the eye test.
I mean, stats could look. If you're getting a lot more balls thrown to you, or you draw a lot more attention, like DeAndre Hopkins and stuff like that.
That's
a stat like that's gonna look worse.
Being better jump ball. I said better at what you do. He's the best jump ball guy. D-Hop is better all around because he does more stuff. But guys like what's his name? Michael Thomas. He's the best at what he does. D-Hop, Julio, Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest guy in the league. When you're guys like that, and you can find a way to, like, the best route runner in the league, we can say it's D-Hop, whoever it has been. I'm gonna pay you because you're the best at what you do. And if you don't want to say Galladay the best, what he top 2, like, come on, he deserves the money. Of course, my fault for the soliloquy, but speak easy, man. What do you think the Lions are gonna do with Galladay, and what would you personally want to do with Kenny Galladay?
Man, it just really depends on what we're doing with Stafford. That's a lot of cap space at the quarterback position, man, to want to sign a receiver at $18 million and not have like wins be the result of it, of the pairing. I like Galladay a lot, but I guess it really just depends on what we're doing with the quarterback situation. If he walks and we keep Stafford, I can't be mad at that because I understand the situation at that point. If we lose Stafford and Galladay, then I'm a little bit upset, man.
So you'll be okay if Stafford stayed and we lost Galladay?
No, I'm saying that's when I would be a little bit more upset. Like if we lose Stafford, then we gotta resign.
Oh, we lose Stafford and we keep Galladay. Yeah, okay. Kind of what I was saying. You gotta have it for that next quarterback too, regardless.
Yeah, for sure. Especially you got a tight end with like Hockenson too. Like the pairing can be trouble. He's just a good receiver to have, man. The price is right. If I'm him, though, I'm sitting out the rest of this season, bro. I got to get my bread. I got to stay healthy, man. I wouldn't even be mad at him.
But like to me, Kyler Murray is the best example I can use because he was good his rookie season. Like, but when he got D-Hop, it changed. You saw, like, did they need DeAndre Hopkins this year? No, they didn't. They got tons of receivers. Christian Kirk, who I was extremely high on coming out of college, another receiver I was right about. But once you added D-Hop, hey, bro, I'm right about these receivers, bro. Check my track record. Hey, I ain't been wrong yet. But all right, Jim, what's your thoughts on this, man? What do you think the Lions are going to do with Galladay? What do you want them to do with Galladay?
Okay, this is going to be very unpopular with most people. I trade him if I sign and trade. The reason I'm doing this, and I want to clear it up, is because I don't think we win with the skill positions being that high priced at this point. I want to build, like I've been saying the whole show, I want to build my linebacking core. I want to build that defensive line, and I want to finish building that offensive line so that we have a running game, we have a defense that can stop somebody, and then let's go after some skill position players. I mean, right now, we have DeAndre Swift. We do have some people. We can draft another wide receiver. I'm not saying it's easy. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is we have had Calvin Johnson and not won. We've had Barry Sanders and not won been to the Super Bowl. We have had really good position players like that, the flashy players, but it hasn't gotten us anywhere. We have never built a complete defense other than was 2014, 2015, something like that, where he had number 2 defense. We've never had a number 1 defense. We really need to build the defensive lines, build that defense and build that offensive line so that we do have something here. And then we can get those skill players.
I will say this, although ain't no way I would ever trade Galladay. Is one team I would love for you to trade him for, 2, because it's going to help me out in both ways. Please give Lamar some help, and we can take their defensive players because they stacked. Send them to Baltimore, get Lamar a receiver, and give me y'all defense. Like, they defense is,
right?
I mean, there's so many stars on that Ravens defense, it's ridiculous. That's the only team I'm fine with trading him to, only because I know what I'm getting back is going to be good. And, of course, y'all know Lamar is my second favorite QB, so I'm biased. Lamar needs a receiver, man. I'm trying to help him out a little bit, and help us out. I'm helping us out too. Our defense gonna be straight. But all right, Kurt, man, what's your thoughts on this?
What do I want to see happen, and what do I think's gonna happen? I think I'm with I don't know if they franchise him. I think he's. I think they may trade him. Just because of the trade capital that he is, I don't think they sign him. Just because of the fact that how much it's going to take to sign him. Would I like them to sign him? Yes, I like homegrown talent, and I hate getting rid of homegrown talent. And he is a homegrown talent that really has blossomed into a really good player. I mean, he really was a unknown coming out of college. Nobody really knew who Kenny Galladay was. Coming out of the small school he played for. So, but he is a really good receiver with an amazing catch radius, great hands, strong 50-50 catcher. So, but I think the Lions he ends up in another uniform next season.
Another reason why I wanted to keep Galladay, because it seemed like he affected the win column, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, we ain't won much with him, but somehow I think we have a winning record with him. I'm laughing because, like, we got 4 wins. But, like, somehow, like, we got a winning record with Kenny Galladay, and we've lost every game without him except for Washington. And I do believe if Kenny Galladay was healthy this year, Matt Patricia would still be here. So, Kenny Galladay, thank you. I'm serious. We beat the Bears. We definitely beat the Bears. We beat the Bears for sure. We beat the Panthers. I don't need, like, we win probably at least, we probably would have 7 wins or 6 wins at worst, and Patricia would definitely be here still. So, But all right, guys, make sure you drop your questions in the chat. We're gonna wrap the show up. Let me know what you think about Kenny Golladay or anything, man. Let me know why you want to trade Stafford. Let me know why you want to keep him here. Just let me know everything in the chat, guys. Make sure you guys like the video. And I just want to say to the Lions fan base, one day we'll be good. You know why? Because if we ain't, Sheila gonna fire him. She ain't playing. like 10 years from now, if we trash, Sheila gonna be like, yeah, I tried. We tried to redo it and it didn't work again. Get out of here, boy.
Right.
Like, that's the only saving grace. Because I feel like, I'm not saying I hope the next regime wins us a Super Bowl. But if they don't, I know Sheila will fire them boys. So, or like, I know that they would be out of here. So, question, do you guys want Doug Peterson?
No.
I don't.
I
kind of like that, dog. I don't know. I kind of like that.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Look, you can't look OMG. You can't judge these guys like what's going on their team right now. You know?
Well, he did win a Super Bowl, so
Yes, and he can call
Definitely
plays. The thing, it's a lot of things going on in Philly, but one thing that's going on is Doug Peterson. I mean, I don't think he's ever believed in Carson Wentz, but it's clear he doesn't believe in Carson Wentz. You call and you play a game differently. Whether he believes in Stafford or not, he probably could get his own guy. You know, he probably could get his Jalen Hurts if he wants to.
Right.
I think that could be good. An offensive coach who has experience and is a champion. I mean, I just think we're judging him because he's been with the Eagles and they haven't been good. But if you're a head coach up for a head coaching candidate, it's because your team hasn't been good. So
Right.
I don't know. I kind of like it, to be honest.
And I just want to throw in there real quick because this is before I met y'all, before I knew y'all. I said that they should keep Nick Foles and they should trade Carson Wentz. And they could have got a bag for Carson Wentz. They could have got probably 2 first-round draft picks for Carson Wentz. Because he was playing like an MVP that season before he got hurt. And they didn't. And
you weren't the only one. I've been saying Nick Foles is the GOAT. I've been saying they should have chosen Carson Wentz over Nick Foles, man. Bro, look, y'all know how much I love Stafford, but let David Blount come win us the damn Super Bowl. You think I'm gonna be talking about Stafford, bro? I'm sorry, Stafford. I love you. Goodbye. Like, come on, bro. Like, the man, no, he didn't just win the Super Bowl.
he was an MVP.
That man had one of the greatest playoff runs I've ever seen.
Right,
Bro. Like,
right,
that
right.
man he outdueled Brady. The Vikings had the #1 defense. He dropped 40 on them. Like, bro, it wasn't an average playoff run.
Right.
There's no way you keep Carson Wentz after that. They got a shrine to this man in the locker room with a statue. You gonna keep Carson Wentz, you idiots. Like,
and the only reason why they did that is because Nick Foles is kind of like a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? But you know who else? But you know who else did that? And they didn't.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
I was about to say sometimes you just
recently.
Oh,
Carson Wentz still better than Nick Foles, man. I'm sorry.
No, I just feel like sometimes you fit. He ain't looking better.
Actually,
if he is, just a little bit.
That's all.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Nick Foles fit that squad because after the Super Bowl year, remember Carson Wentz got hurt. What Nick Foles do again? All right, I'm gonna just win a playoff game. Like, it just seemed like he fit that team.
He did.
Like, that's why he's
not
doing right. He's not doing well where else because sometimes you just fit in one spot. It's sometimes like that with some of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, Case Keenum with the Vikings. Bro, I bet you Case Keenum take him to the Super Bowl.
What I tell you, I was like, the Vikings should have never got rid of Case Keenum.
No,
they got Kirk Cousins. I was like, y'all shouldn't have did that. Because Case Keenum isn't better than Kirk Cousins, but he fit. Oh no, I'm happy too. But he fit that team perfectly. Sometimes it's just about fit. But ain't no way I'm gonna let David Blount win a Super Bowl, and I'm like, yeah, we keeping Stafford over you because he a little bit better. Bro, I'll smack y'all. Like what?
Right.
He won the Super, and this is Philly. They ain't never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, he won your first Super Bowl, and you gave him the finger, and y'all drafted him in the first round.
Yeah.
But that was a whole side conversation. But I would take. I don't know, man. I'm alone on this. I would take.
They had Alshon Jeffrey healthy then. They had. I mean.
So, the rest of y'all said no to Dougie P, right?
Yep.
You know what? I'm in the middle of the road right now with that. Nah, you didn't convince me, James. I'm in the middle of the road now.
I just feel like, bro, what he is with the Eagles is not going to be here. He's going to be in a whole new situation. And when you take into account what is he supposed to be good at offense, I don't know. I watched him go to the Eagles and build a Super Bowl team. So, hey, I'm not saying he's a great coach, but I mean, I would consider it. I mean, he won 8-8 with that terrible Eagles team last year, so it is what it is.
And he beat the Patriots.
Yes, he did. In the game that mattered too.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys drop your comments and your questions below because we about to wrap it up real soon. DSA and friends, do you trust our front office to get the Lions together?
Nope.
Ain't got one right now. They been fired.
Look, I'm telling you, I trust them if they do it the right way. You draft a quarterback, sit him behind Stafford, and you build a team. But if y'all don't do that, I really don't have that much hope. Unless we go 0-16 again. Because I'm not joking. We're literally going to have to go 0-16 again to draft the next Stafford or Trevor Lawrence. Because that's the only way. I don't want to do that.
My thing is, you don't necessarily need like a one quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Like we've seen Eli Manning's and Trent Dilfer's like went, you know what I'm saying, and like you just need a team.
That's why I want to build the team. Now you coming around. That's why I want to build the team because we've already seen it. One man show ain't gonna work, or 2-man show with Calvin Johnson. You have to build a team.
Can't be paying these dudes $30 million a year.
Hey, Galladay, that's what he's saying. He's saying he ain't trying to pay you.
Nah, I'm talking about man making $30 million a year.
What do y'all think about the Metcalf comparison? It's a lot of quarterbacks get way more paid than him, though. Disrespectful. If Calvin Johnson had Stafford his first 2 years, then we would talk. But he had Dan Orlovsky and John Kitna and
Culpepper.
Like, come on, man. Metcalf is a monster, though. But just Julio Jones, he's Calvin Johnson's son. Sorry.
Yeah. We had Darius Slay on the podcast, and we got to ask him this question. And I almost feel like Metcalf might have watched that clip, man. He was going at Darius last night. They even got a little scuffle.
No, but they said that Jim Swartz was talking some smack to him or something like that. Like, you ain't good as Calvin. I took that as a chip on my. Bro, you lucky Calvin don't play today. Because, like, with all of these calls, my man Calvin Johnson would probably call all of the flag. People don't realize it took 3 dudes to cover this dude for most teams.
Darius said his rookie year had Patrick Peterson and somebody else. That's Patrick Peterson at that time, like the best cornerback in the league, like no questions asked. Him and another cornerback doubled him at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how cold Calvin was.
I mean, because you gotta take nobody takes into account his route running, man. He was an excellent route runner.
Calvin Johnson was a phenomenal. That's why he's so good. He had everything. Like Calvin Johnson would be like if D-Hop was 2 inches taller and 30 pounds bigger. Like that's how good he was, and like just a little bit faster. And like I feel like D-Hop is the closest to the full package. It was Julio, but that's consistency. But no, it's disrespectful to Calvin Johnson. We've only seen one man line up with Calvin and shut him down, and he only did it once, and that was Darrelle Revis, and you never saw that happen again. So, and that was when Darrelle Revis was literally Revis Island. We talking about a top 4 or 5 cornerback of all time. So that was the only guy that we ever saw line up with Calvin and not get murdered, you know? So disrespectful. When DK Metcalf is getting double coverage and still doing that, we can have a conversation.
Peanut Tillman did his thing against Calvin every once in a while too, man. That was always a fun matchup.
Are all QBs gone next year? Well, I want to draft a defensive player in the first round, QB second round or something. That's me. But all QBs are going next year draft. What position or player y'all want? We gonna start with you, Speak Easy, and then we're gonna do one more question and we be out.
Rough, man. I don't pay a lot of attention to college football as of late, especially this year if the late.
Let's say what position. So if you don't got a player, what position?
I would like to keep the safest position. I like to keep building the offensive line. I watched the Titans, what they did for a while, and they got them a running back who could run between in those holes, and they're killing it, man. That's a game plan that you could take on the road with you. You know what I'm saying? That rushing game.
Okay, hold on. What about you, Jim?
I'm going defensive end or linebacker.
OMG.
Linebacker. I gotta go linebacker.
Kurt?
Linebacker or defensive tackle.
Okay, I would say linebacker or wide receiver. Yeah, I said it. If Galladay is gone, I'm taking the best wide receiver available, and I'm telling y'all to be mad about me later.
I'm gonna be mad.
But hey, if he is stud though, what you gonna say?
I'm gonna say we need a defense.
I'm joking. Y'all know I'm joking.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not actually serious about that. But no, linebacker, man. I've been telling y'all, like, we needed a linebacker even when we had Jared Davis. He still needed linebackers around him. Like, we need a game changer. Man, I'm just mad we didn't get Simmons.
Me too.
Needed him. Like, this is like, man, I was watching Arizona. Who did they just play? They lost to the Patriots. And I actually was gonna send y'all the clip in our little group chat. Simmons was not on the screen, bro. And then out of nowhere, he came and tackled this dude from the opposite side of the field. I had to rewind it 3 times because I didn't see him on the field. I'm like, where did he come from? Yeah, he came across the field at 4-3 and murdered the guy. Yeah, I wish we could have that. Like
right.
Yeah.
6'4", 4-3 and can tackle sideline to sideline. I can come out of the other side of the field like a and just make a great open field tackle. I'm like, man. And you saw Arizona, they didn't know what to do with him, but now they do. They playing him at safety. Like I said, I thought he should be playing a little bit more safety because he can run free. Let him run. When you're an athlete like that, let him free roam, or you put him in the box like they do Jamal Adams. But I think he's going to be a better version of Jamal Adams at his best. And it just hurts. So don't mess up again, bro. Draft us, you can draft a stud linebacker, man. Please. All right, y'all. We about to get out of here. I don't see any more some more questions in the chat. But all right, man. We gonna do final thoughts, man. My man, Speak Easy Sports, man. Plug yourself if you need to, man. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on. I just want to say all my Lions fans are sitting there hurt. If you guys want to relive some 2014 moments, Detroit Lions defense, we did have Darius Slay on the show. We got tons of clips from that. Just head over to the page. Check that out. Please hit the subscribe button. And I hope to do this more often, man. I know I love messing with the DSA, man. I mean, I love all sports. From Detroit sports is my heart. So thank you for having me on. And I hope to come on again soon.
You definitely will be back on, man. And definitely check out that Darius Slay interview. I was in the chat, man. Slay is a cool dude. And speaking of Slay, did y'all see his recent tweet? Did y'all see his recent tweet about him having a bad game against DK?
What'd he say?
Now he said, "Look, let me go to it so I can tell you verbatim." Because I decided to look at the comments to see if the Eagles fans were like tearing him up or not, and he like, "On me, Eagles fan will be better." But if you go into the comments and you look, the Eagles are 3-8, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like
so
that.
The Eagles are 3-8. Darius Slay, your best cornerback, just got lit up by DK Metcalf, and in the comments, it's nothing but "It's all good, Slay. You'll be all right. You are best player, man." No, you do. It was nothing but praise for Darius Slay, and that's the problem with our fan base.
Yep.
I could never imagine in a million years we're 3-8. Darius Slay gets torched by Devontae Adams, let's say, and we in the comments like, "Good, Slay. It's all right, man. This the only bad game you had this season, man." Like,
that's
no,
Philly
it's okay.
fans too. That's crazy.
Right, no,
Yeah,
no, don't, bro.
Weird.
I posted it in our DSA chat. I posted it in the chat, and if you go look at the comments, 90% of the comments is praise for Darius Slay and how great a football player he's been for them this season.
Because he's such a good guy. Bro.
Listen,
I love
I'm gonna tell you.
No, and he's been great. He's been great for them all season. That's the difference with Lions fans.
Yeah.
Darius Slay could play perfect the whole year, but have one bad game, and because we 3-8, we destroy him. But a different team, they like, well, look, you had a bad game, you got cooked. All right, but you've been playing well the whole year though.
That's Philly though, man. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Philly. Philly is that's the best fight city I've ever fought in. Like the best fight I ever fought in was in Philly, because even though I was fighting a hometown dude, they was cheering for me. Like that don't never happen. When you go out of town to go fight somebody and you start doing good, you throw something, the crowd is just hushed, they're quiet. I'm talking about Philly. They was like, get him, Jones. Like they was cheering for me. You know what I'm saying? So they they feel they sport, man. They love.
Yeah, it's
sports,
surprising
man.
though, because we know how the Philly sports fans are.
Right.
But I think maybe from their perspective, they like if you a baller, you're a baller. Even if you have a down day,
Mhm.
you still a
Yeah.
baller.
Oh,
Like you
yeah.
would not see them treating T.J. Hawkinson or Kenny. Man, come on, the way they be treating them. Like I said, they defended Carson Wentz, and he's a nightmare right now. So all I'm saying is I knew something told me just look at the comments and see what the Eagles fans said. But I'm gonna read off a couple of these comments. I'm sorry, I know we're gonna wrap up the show, but Lions fans, y'all gotta do better. Like this is ridiculous. Y'all gotta do better. Here you go. All good. Just send me a free jersey. No way, man. You're firing beginning. Lit a spark under the defense, man. DK is a beast. He gonna get his. You're all heart and talent and not the issue. I could keep going. Like you would have thought he had 3 picks. The man got murdered. Like he got murdered on national TV. I love you, Slay. I love you, Slay. But it wasn't good for you. And they in the comments trying to uplift this guy, and they 3-8, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They 3-8. Come on, man. Us as a fan base, we got to do better. We always attacking the players, even when they do bad, even when they do good, and we're never consistent with it. Like, if somebody that we love go out, like, you saw what we did to Swift, including you, OMG. You saw what we did to Swift? We eviscerated him. I didn't really, but we killed Swift for that. And I just feel like the Lions fans as a fan base got to do better. My fault, y'all, about that. I just had to go to that tangent because to me that it's alarming how they were still praising this man after that game.
Yeah. I mean, it's because we so emotional. We just so much losing. Just so much has happened to us. We just like that disgruntled housewife. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm tired of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Rare. Like, hey, the disgruntled housewife was something up or something. All right, Jim Bordeaux. What's your final thoughts, man?
Oh, I just had fun tonight. I'm just exhausted right now. Speak easy. Thanks for coming, man. I'm just glad to get to know you, man. I think you're pretty cool. Everybody, thanks for rocking with us, and I'm going to head off. Everybody, see you have a good night now.
All right, man. All right, Kurt, still thanks for joining us, man. Kurt, what's your final thoughts, man?
Hey, man, just have fun. I haven't been with you guys in quite a while. Appreciate you guys in the chat. We appreciate you guys commenting. Love the DSA. Shout out to my man Shawnee J over at the Die Hard Den podcast. If you don't know, that's my podcast over there. And Shawnee J lost his dad. He buried him on Saturday. So a big shout out to my man Shawnee J. Keep your head up, brother, and we're gonna talk to you real soon. You can check me out over on the Die Hard Den podcast and with my man Jim over at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Just check out the content. We do a daily show, man. It's really good content. We enjoy bringing you Detroit Lions news and being part of the DSA as well. And thanks for having me on, guys. JMO, OMG. You know what I'm saying? Speak easy, man. You do your thing, brother. I love that Darius Slay thing. Darius Slay signed a football for me. I had sent to Quandre Diggs, so he always will have a place in my heart as a Lions fan. So he's a good dude.
Oh, yeah. That's super dope.
Yeah, he's a.
Now you talking about like why he was still on the team or when he was playing?
Yeah, well, I sent it to I sent it to Quandre when I think it was his second season in the league. I mailed it to Quandre at the camp, and this Quandre to sign it, and then Quandre signed it, Glover Quinn signed it, Darius Slay signed it, and so did Nevin Lawson. They all signed it. And they
that's what's up, man.
They sent me a media guide too. So
well, man, you just named some of the realest players we didn't have here in a minute, though. Yeah. Like, because none of us were happy with any of them leaving. Especially Quandre, Glow. We love those guys, so it doesn't surprise me at all, man.
Except for Nevin.
Oh yeah, Nevin. Don't get me started on Nevin, bro.
Nevin, but you know what though? But he didn't have to sign it either, though. So I appreciate that.
Right? No, most definitely. All right, OMG, what's your final thoughts, man?
Hey, man, I just want to let y'all know my cousin Eric Williams Jr. Game tomorrow night, Oregon versus Washington. Or no, it's Oregon versus Missouri on FS1. He playing, man. He gonna start. My cousin about to do his thing, man. He didn't shot up from 6'4", 180 when he graduated high school. This man is 6'7", 210 right now. Okay,
Damn.
so
He had a growth spurt.
he is not playing right now, man. So go check my little cousin Eric Williams Jr. out, man. Yeah, man, he about to light it up, man. And then check out Omg's Lions Talk. I know I ain't put out no new content in a little bit, man. I've been kind of putting my nose to the pavement at work, man, just grinding. But I'm about to get back with y'all, man. Omg's Lions Talk.
No doubt. Shout out to all the Lions fans. Like, y'all know we gonna have some disagreements whenever Stafford come up. So it's all fun and games. Why do you think I bring up the Stafford questions? Because I know what y'all gonna do. That's why we have fun. You guys think I didn't put that question in there knowing y'all gonna be like, man, trade this scrub. I knew y'all was gonna say that. But we gonna have fun anyway because everybody got differences of opinion out here. And shout out to all of the people that came and supported. And I have to say, shout out to the Lions, man. Got rid of Patricia. It was too late, but it wasn't too little, if you know what I mean. So you got rid of Patricia, though. Sheila, you did the thing. You pulled up on him once, and you let him know, and then and then you followed through. So I definitely like that, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. It's a very winnable game, but we're 4-7, so who cares? But
we got flex at 4:30, by the way, for people, so no one misses the game.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got flex at 4:30.
Yeah, this is weird. So why are we getting flexed to a national TV game and we're playing the Bucks on Saturday on national TV?
Because we fired our coach and people want to see how we react.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like my NFL conspiracy hat getting on. Y'all better not like if we beat the Packers, my NFL conspiracy hat will be on. Trust me. Because that'd be a miracle.
Oh, I apologize. The Packers game is the game they got flexed, not the.
Okay, so the Packers game is flexed. Still, that's even like
Packers
what?
game got flexed, and then the Bucks game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all know like 4 p.m. games are considered national TV games.
The game of the week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So wow. I mean, yeah. Of course, they want to see the Packers destroy us on national TV.
Yeah. Why are they doing that? Damn.
I mean, but we played. Besides this year, we usually play the Packers very tough. It's just that game earlier. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, man.
But all right, man. we about to get out of here. Shout out to all of the people in the chat, and we gonna see what the Lions do next, y'all. And it's your boy 313 J Mo. Hey, my man Kenny Galladay.